Dirty bulking or lean bulking? Do you have to eat big to get big? Or do you have to eat clean to stay lean? The timeless battle. Arnold, C-Bum, Ronnie Coleman all focus on a clean, healthy diet with bulking meals like chicken, rice, and broccoli. But science states that no matter what you eat, if you eat in a calorie surplus with enough protein, you'll gain muscle and weight. So surely, as long as you do that, the actual foods don't matter, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through which argument is correct, the pros, the cons, and which bulking option you should choose. So let's get into it. What is dirty bulking? This is where you eat typically anything you want. So it can be a lot of junk food, so things like pizzas, burgers, and chocolate. And the main objective of a dirty bulk is to eat as much as possible. You would typically be eating in a big calorie surplus of 600 to 1,000 plus. So why is it popular? Well, with dirty bulking, it's sold to skinny guys as this magical dream that you can gain tens and tens of kilos in the space of months. And this is far beyond the full picture. There's always two sides of the story. So let's start off with doing the pros of a dirty bulk. Now, obviously, you do gain weight fast as you're eating in such a big calorie surplus. It's also easier to hit your calorie goals as junk food is filled with tons of calories and not as filling as eating mountains of chicken and rice. In terms of the training, your lifts will get stronger due to the excess body weight that you have. Cool, so now let's look at the cons of doing a dirty bulk. With the junk food and the diet, the quality of protein is lower, tons of added sugars and excess processed fat, meaning that you'll gain weight, but the majority of that weight will be fat rather than muscle. From this unhealthy diet, you'll have big energy crashes due to the spikes in the blood sugar levels from all of the added sugars and added crap. This will make you feel tired, sluggish, and have low motivation. Another downside of the dirty bulk is that you could become skinny fat, because when you start to add loads of weight on and loads of fat on, it's a lot harder to track your muscle growth. So when you get to the stage of doing a cut, you could be left with barely any muscle mass, but still a big belly. So let's take a look at the mental side of things. When you do a dirty bulk and you gain lots of excess fat, you're not going to feel confident or assured within yourself. So the extra weight will knock your confidence levels. With your mood and energy, this will decrease too, because when you look in the reflection of the mirror and you're unhappy with what you see, that will translate to other areas of life. The acne and puffy face. Now, when you're eating an unhealthy diet filled with loads of chemicals, artificial crap, this can have a big effect on your skin and even on your face, meaning you'll have a lot of spots and even a very puffy face too. And even if you try and hide your physique in a hoodie, you can never hide your face. So this is always on display in the public. Cool. So now let's get on to lean bulking. What is lean bulking? This is where you eat in a small calorie surplus of 200 to 400, and you primarily eat healthy whole foods. Things like chicken breast, rice, beef mince, vegetables, fruits, essentially just a balanced, healthy diet. Now, the reason why lean bulking is so popular is because you look good and feel good all year round. So when you're gaining the weight, you still maintain good definition, so you still look lean, shredded, and aesthetic. If you do it correctly, you don't need to do a weight cut at the end. I gained over 30 kilos and never did a specific weight loss cut. And you can see throughout the years and throughout the months, I gradually gained weight while still maintaining my abs and definition the whole entire time. It's even the same for my coaching client Nathan. He managed to gain 10 kilos whilst lean bulking, and he looks more shredded now than he did back then. He achieved all of this whilst working full time, and nutrition was a big part of it. So if you want the exact 3 best bulking recipes that helped Nathan to gain weight and myself gain weight, just DM me on Instagram with the word gains. My Instagram's @BeckelsFitness. I'll leave in the first link in the description and I'll send it over completely for free. Cool, so let's get into the pros and the cons of lean bulking. With the pros, one big benefit of lean bulking is that you gain the majority of your weight in muscle rather than excess body fat. In terms of the diet, the nutrient-dense foods are going to provide you with sustained energy levels. This will mean you'll have better energy throughout the day, so you'll feel more motivated, have better clarity, and your productivity and focus will be much better. In terms of your digestion, this will improve immensely due to your diet having minimal processed foods, so you won't get as bloated as the dirty bulk, and your gut health and digestion will be much better. Now, let's take a look at the cons of lean bulking. Now, to be honest, there aren't really that many cons of lean bulking. However, I'm going to bring up a few mini red flags to be aware of. With lean bulking, you want to make sure you're not doing a slow gain. So you don't want your surplus too low, like 50 to 100 calories. Otherwise, you can spend months and months being the same sort of weight and not really progressing. And another slight problem with lean bulking is that you need to be really on it with the tracking, because when you're trying to gain weight, build muscle, but still be defined, lean and shredded, you need to have the accurate numbers. So you need to know exactly how much you need to be eating, you need to be tracking everything, and you need to ensure that you're eating the right foods and everything's in place. From the mental side of it, when you look good, you do feel good. That's a natural thing. So lean bulking will help to boost your confidence levels, whether this is at social occasions or just within yourself or at the beach. Looking lean, muscular and aesthetic is going to help a lot. In terms of your mood, month by month, when you're looking in the mirror and you're seeing good progress and you're still lean and muscular, this will make you feel a lot happier when you see that good visual progress starting to fall. Sweet, so I've gone into the pros and the cons of lean bulking and dirty bulking, and now I'm going to give you an overview of which is the best decision, and I'll go over super common myths that still surround dirty bulking and lean bulking. And the first myth, people say that lean bulking takes way too long, and this is completely false. I'd argue it's actually quicker in a sense, because with dirty bulking, you have to bulk up massively and then do a heavy weight cut, and often you don't have much muscle mass left. Whereas with lean bulking, you don't need to cut if you do it correctly. And with my client Nathan, he managed to gain 10 kilos while staying lean and shredded, all in the space of 12 weeks. So if you do it correctly, you're tracking everything, you're measured, you're on it, then you can see results pretty quickly. Another myth is that lean bulking is expensive. And this is honestly complete rubbish, because if you go to a supermarket like Aldi, for example, you can get 1 kilo of rice for £1.79, a kilo of chicken thighs for £5.49, and a kilo of peas for £1.09. So that's cost you £8.37 for 5 meals with 1,000 calories in every single one of them, which works out at £1.67 for a healthy, clean, high protein meal. Your health and confidence should never be too expensive. It costs a lot more to spend days and days in a hospital bed or spending a decade less with your kids. Choosing the right nutritional choices is vital. So you can either pay the farmer right now or you can pay the doctor later. To wrap up the video, in short, lean bulking is going to be the best option because you'll look good, you'll feel good all year round, and it's obviously much better for your health and doesn't take that long if you do it correctly. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful. And again, if you did need those 3 best bulking recipes, just DM me on Instagram with the word gains and I'll send it over. Anyways, drop a like, drop a subscription, and I'll catch you next time.